I love the smell of tank fuel in the morning. Today we're looking at the 1988 board/computer game Tank Attack. You've got to be up early because they always like to attack at dawn. So get your engines ready and let's get ready for war.
So what is Tank Attack? It's a 1988 game from CDS Software. I had it as a kid. You get a nice big box in which you have a software cassette, which we'll be looking at in a little bit, a very nicely presented board, which is of a hex map of 4 countries, and 48 plastic playing pieces. Each country has 4 little armoured cars and 8 tanks. These tanks are they're all colour-coded for each country, and they have little knobs on the back, which are used to represent the fog of war, because you know what the enemy piece is. Roughly it's a tank or armoured car, but not exactly what type it is. What does the game do? The game gives you your movement orders for the turn, how many places you can move, and deals with firing for you and also repair. Also factored into the game are weather systems and morale, which are reported on in a newspaper, which you get at the end of every turn. The aim of the game is to occupy the enemy headquarters. You do this by moving onto it. Obviously, enemy tanks are going to try and stop you. Once it's occupied, you then issue the correct order in the game. They can carry on fighting, but they can't repair any more tanks, which will severely limit them. And then you're meant to keep that playing piece on the headquarters for the rest of the game. This is the world of Tank Attack. 4 countries on some kind of isthmus, 2 alliances, Kazaldi and Armania, will always fight Sarapan and Calderon, possibly 1-on-2 or 2-on-1, or 2-on-2 or 1-on-1, but Armenia will never attack Kazaldi and vice versa, same as Sarapan and Calderon. This is Armenia. Bottom left is the rebuild centre. In the centre you've got a repair centre. This is Armenia city. Armenia headquarters is bottom right. Moving into the country, the lighter green is open territory. There is then a forest and a repair centre with a building. The river/lake is impassable, but you can cross it with a bridge. The lightest green is a demilitarised zone. You can't start your troops there. Crossing the red border into Sarapan, you have a pink area, which is demilitarised zone. The slightly deeper pink is open country. You have some mountains and some buildings, a repair facility. Deep red is a built-up area. This is a Sarapanese town, which slows movement of armoured cars, and you can't fire through it. You can only fire at a very close range. Open country then leads on to Sarapan city, which is deep red and buildings. The Sarapanese headquarters is top right with the flag. In the centre you can see a Sarapanese repair facility. We then pan to the southwest, where Sarapan borders Kazaldi through a mountain pass, which is thoroughly demilitarised. The light yellow is the Kazaldi demilitarised zone. The slightly deeper yellow is normal countryside, and the brown is a town where you have various Middle East type buildings and a repair facility and some mountains. We then go down into Kazaldi city. And the headquarters is bottom left. Scrolling up now, we go back through Kazaldi territory into the light green of Calderon, where we have a repair facility, a forest, a lake, a river. You can only cross the river with a bridge. Open territory, and then into sort of very nice Italianate buildings. Deep green is Calderon city, and their headquarters is top left. So after loading the game, you get to redefine the keys, and then you can press spacebar just to make every country war with each other. You can mix and match them, and then you start the game. And you get a nice newspaper, war, war, war. After many tensioned days filled, blah, blah, blah. Armenia and Kazaldi joined forces to fight the enemy invasion. Dangerous time for war. Food and fuel prices, Sarapan's magic tanks, the weather for the day ahead, and some political news. We'll look at how the different countries have set up their forces. This is the setup at the start of the war. In Armenia, the pieces, which are just cardboard pieces, these aren't the original pieces. I've got a force of number 4, but I think they are the medium tanks on the right flank, which is for a strong drive into Sarapan. In reserve, I've got the main battle tanks. I've got some armoured cars, which are the triangles, just lurking around. And on the left, I've got the 2 light tanks, which are number 3s, ready either to hook into Sarapan or support the Kazaldis. The Kazaldi forces on this flank here, we have a force of the main battle tanks are here in the town. Their plan is to drive across the demilitarised zone, across the bridge, and then hook into Sarapan that way. And on this side, we've got the number 4 tanks are here ready to defend against the Calderonians, and the armoured cars are guarding entrance to the town. The Sarapanese are trying a different strategy, a more interesting one. They've got the main battle tanks here at the front, all 3 of those, and the 2 light tanks are planning to drive through the mountain pass into Kazaldis to knock Kazaldis out of the war quickly. The armoured cars form a screening force along the border, and in reserve you've got the 3 number 4 medium tanks protecting the headquarters. And in Calderon, we have 2 heavy tanks guarding the bridge, and we have a mixed force here and here of 3 light, medium, and main battle tanks to either to drive into Kazaldis or as a defence. So, let's get started with the war. So the war has started, and Sarapan is first to move. We have 4 armoured cars, 8 tank units. We need to get our movement order first. So we select the movement order, which is the moving tanks, and press the button, and get told that Sarapan has 6 movement points, which can be spread between 1 unit or many units. Armoured cars can move 2 spaces in the open. Everything else is 1 space. So you've got 6. So we're going to move the heavy forces forward, 1 and 2, into the demilitarised zone, 1 and 2. And we're then going to, having done that, you have to declare all firing before you can execute a single attack. So what you're going to do first is this tank here, it's going to fire on this tank here. So we select the firing at tank icon. Boom. Who you're firing on? It is an Armanian tank. Boom. What is the range? The range is 3. Boom. What have I got? I have got a number 5, which is a main battle tank. Boom, boom, and I select that. And the Armanian player, I don't know, all I know is got a tank, but what tank it is now displayed. It's a number 3 tank. So we select the number 3 tank, and then we have the output. It's an Armanian light tank sighted at long range 3 by a main battle tank commander. Confirm or retract order. I confirm that as it is correct. Then my tank trundles forward, as seen through these binoculars in a nice wartime view, raises its tank and fires, and they fire back. I've missed, and we both missed. The rules are each unit can only fire once and can only be fired on once. And that's all we're doing this turn. Everyone else is out of range. So we now select to move to the next player, which is Kazaldis. The Kazaldis, first of all, have to select a movement order and get told they have 6 movement points. So what are they going to do? They're going to move their main battle tank forces forward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And is anything in range? Well, this tank's in range and this tank's in range. It doesn't matter if they're in cover. If they're in cover, all it means is you can only fire at them at a range of 1. So I cannot fire at him, but I can fire at this bloke. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a range of 4. So I'm going to fire, bop, at the Calderonians. Bop. It's a range of 4. Bop. I've got a main battle tank, which is number 5. What have you got, Mr. Calderoni? It is this one I'm firing at. He's also got a main battle tank. And it says, please confirm extreme range. Let's confirm this. The Kazaldi tank rumbles forward, aims and fires. Calderonians also return fire. I've hit him, he's missed me. So our tank is intact, which is excellent. And what about the Calderonians? The Calderonians have a damaged main battle tank. They have a choice. They can accept the loss and remove the piece from the board, or they're going to place the piece on a repair depot. Because it's the main battle tank, they're going to repair it. So you press this, take the piece and place it in one of our repair depots, or their repair depots. And that's all we're going to fire on this turn, because everyone else is out of range. And the next player is the Calderonians. So now we select the movement order. They can move 6. So we're going to move these forces forward here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and we're going to fire. Each of these is going to fire at the piece just about in front of it. So we're going to start off with this piece here. It's firing at the Kazaldis. Oh, it's at a range of 3. Oh, I have got, in this case, it is a number 3, which is a light tank, and it is firing on a Kazaldi. It's a medium tank. Oh, please confirm. Oh, let's see what happens. So the Calderonian tank should be black. These are Axis and Allies pieces, which I've used. The Germans for the Sarapanese, the Americans for the Armanians, the Soviet Union for Kazaldis. They're all reasonable colour matches. Our light tank is intact, which is excellent. And so is their medium tank. Not too bad. And we're going to fire again, but this time the next unit over. We're going to fire again at the Kazaldis at a range of 3. In this case, I've got a number 5 main battle tank, and I'm firing on a number 4, I think it's a medium tank. Please confirm. Yes, unfortunately I haven't got any black tanks. The game originally came with a board and tanks. These are makeshift pieces just for the purpose of this video. So we aim, we fire, they fire back. I've hit him, and he has missed. Excellent. So we are all right. The Calderonian medium tank is damaged. It's a medium tank. They're quite good. So the Kazaldis are going to place that in a repair depot. Repair depots, you can't enter them. They're just there. And the last thing we're going to shoot at is this one firing on this one. So I select against the Kazaldis. Bob, at a range of 1, 2, 3. Bob, I have got a number 4 tank. And I'm firing on a Kazaldi number 4 tank, so it's even Stevens. So medium tank sighted at long range by medium tank commander. So the enemy tank is slightly larger than the binoculars. We aim, we fire, and that's a hit. We both hit each other. So my medium tank is damaged. So I'm going to choose to repair it, placing him on a repair depot, which are all now full, by the way. And the Kazaldi medium tank is damaged. He's also going to repair it, because Minhas are quite good. And that is all she wrote for this turn. Moving on down to the Armanian forces. We select the movement order. Armenia has 10 movement points, which is very, very good. So what we're going to do here is move forward 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I've got one piece left. Armoured cars move 2 spaces in the open, so I've got one movement point left, so I can move 1 and 2. But I get a few some firing. We select the fire enemy piece icon. Starting on the right hand side, they're firing at the ones closest to them. 1, 2, 3. So this one firing at that one, this at that one, this at that one, and he's not firing. So here first, we're firing on the Sarapanese at a range of 2. This is a number 4 tank. We are firing at an armoured car, which is only a number 1, which is a light armoured car. Medium range by a medium tank commander. We don't have a different icon for the armoured car, unfortunately, just only based on range. Bit of a shame that, but what can you do? Off we go, boom, up it goes, and we've missed, and they've missed us as well. We're now going to fire the next vehicle. Again, firing at the Sarapanese. This is again a number 4 tank, firing at a number 1 armoured car at a range of 2. Was that number 1 armoured car? It was number 1 armoured car, at a range of 2. Is it confirmed? Yes. So we trundle forward and fire, and we miss, and they miss. Rubbish. And finally, it's going to be this tank, which is found on the Sarapanese, a range of 2. We've got a number 4 tank, and we're firing upon a number 2 armoured car now. Medium armoured car at medium range by medium tank commander. Medium. Trundling forwards. Boom! Fire. That's a hit. So our tank is fine, which is good. How is the Sarapanese armoured car doing? It is damaged, and the Sarapanese do not want to repair it because it's only an armoured car and they're rubbish. So we remove the unit from the board. Because if a unit is in repair, then if all spaces in repair are full, then you lose the unit anyway, and they're trying to save space for better units. And we now move to the newspaper. War news. A major battle today, as stated in reports. A violent offensive by tank units today, which led to a total breakdown of all frantic attempts to resupply the units. Time for regrouping. Many units damaged in today in combat. Armoured units moved with speed today. The weather, war zone is now covered by a deep trough coming from Calderon. General conditions, heavy fog and rain. Battle conditions, poor to very bad. Kazaldi and dictator and leaders visited troops at the front. Troops violated the treaty by entering the demilitarised zone. And that is the end of turn 1.
We live in a country which is really brill.
Calderon.
It goes from the seashore up onto the hill.
Calderon.
Yeah, we will attack. Kazaldis is whack. And our tanks are black. Calderon.
This is turn 6. We've had civilian rights in Armania, sunshine, and chimeral in Calderon. The last term was rather quiet, just a reconsolidation and some vehicles ready for return, but day 6 should be a good day for attacking. Start with Sarapan. The main battle tank is rebuilt, 1 step out of the depot, so take it out of the rebuild centre into here, which is excellent news. So rebuild is free and repair is free for Sarapan, which is excellent news, because they're going to go full attack with 11 movement points. So we're going to try for a bit of a rush. So this tank here is a main battle tank. We can go 11. We can take all 11 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 into Armania City. We can't shoot at anything from here, which is fine. And then we move on to Kazaldis. The Kazaldis have 1 unit in repair and rebuild is busy. They only have 6 movement points this turn and do not have many vehicles left. So they're going to consolidate by moving this vehicle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to protect their headquarters down the bottom, which the Calderonians got very close to. We then move on to the Calderonians themselves. They have 1 unit repair and rebuild is free and have 10 movement points. They have 2 tanks here and they're going to move 5 each moving forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are a medium tank and a light tank. Again, not firing at anybody. Moving on to the Armanians. A medium tank has been rebuilt. 1 space out of depot. I can't move it here because that chap's still there. Move it this side. We can help our Kazaldi brothers in arms. Protect our movement. We have 6 movement points. We need to be very careful and take this guy out. So, I need to 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't. These are my main battle tanks. They can't get there in time. I can go 1, 2 though. Block his way there. And say 1, 2, 3, 4, get closer. And we are going to fire at the Sarapanese tank at close range. This is a light tank, number 3. We are firing on a main battle tank, number 5, at close range. Let's see how we get on. So we trundle forward. Boom! And we've hit him, but he's hit us as well. So our light tank is damaged. I'm going to place it on the repair depot. And their main battle tank is also damaged. They're going to repair it. It was a good attempt, though. Good attempt. And that's all we're going to fire at. Move on to the newspaper. Just some skirmishes. Again, new units, 1 unit damage in the field, and Armania is happy.
Brown tank in the sand. Bang, bang, bang. Brown tank in the pass. Bang, 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 bang. Brown tank in the town. Bang, 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 bang. It shoots everyone in Sarapan. Calderon.
This is day 10. Light cloud cover, good for mobility. Sarapan has low morale, apparently. Bosh. So the Sarapanese are going to attack, hopefully. We have got 8 movement points. We can either drive forward strongly into Armania. In fact, we're going to push into Kazaldi because they are on the ropes. Go 1, 2, attack this vehicle here. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. We're going to fire up the Armanian tank at close range. We have got a main battle tank. The Armanians, who are trying to help the Kazaldis, also have a main battle tank. For us, we have no units in repair and nothing in the rebuild, which is excellent. The Armanians have both repair depots full, and if it's destroyed, it's tough. They will lose it. Bang! We've hit him. He's also hit us. 50-50. So our tank is destroyed. We are going to rebuild our main battle tank. Absolutely, no question about it. And the Armenians have been destroyed. Oh dear. We now move on to the Kazaldis, who have 2 armoured cars and a tank unit and a unit in repair. They have 5 movement points, but not a lot of tanks. So to move this tank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last ditch attempt. And we are going to shoot at the Calderonians. A range of 2. We have got a light tank, and they have a medium tank. Trundling forwards. We aim, we fire. We have missed, and they've missed as well. Not the end of the world. And move on to the Calderonians, who have got lots of movement points. Have we got enough? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have now occupied the Kazaldi headquarters, which means we can now choose the Farah headquarters icon. Who are we attacking? We are attacking the Kazaldi headquarters. Please confirm. Yes, we are confirming. Unit requests permission to order to destroy Kazaldi command headquarters. That is confirmed. So we trundle forwards. There is the Kazaldi headquarters. We aim. And you automatically hit. And Kazaldis is now out of the war. Troops are securing enemy depots. All depots captured remove any Kazaldi repairing or rebuilding units from the board. And that's the end of the Calderonian turn. We've gone to Armania. Light tank repaired, 1 step out of depot. This is the light tank down here. We're now on the ropes. We're going to select our movement points. We have 9 movement points. So how can we best? We're going to try and do the same thing. This is an armoured car. Armoured cars can move 2 spaces in the open. So we're going to try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's sneaky. Unfortunately, that's how wars are won. We're now going to fire at the Sarapanese headquarters. Please confirm. It doesn't ask what it is, just automatic victory if you do so. And the Sarapanese were doing so well. That's why you've always got to protect your headquarters. Armoured cars are fast. Sarapanese HQ destroyed. Troops are securing enemy depots. Please remove any Sarapanese repairing or rebuilding units from the board, which is this one. Now move on to the newspaper. The headquarters of Sarapan is captured. Sarapan is capitulates. Very heavy street battles. Civilians run out of the burning city. Factories and depots blown up. Looting rampage. And day 11 is going to be sunny.
Sarapan, pan, pan, build pagodas, plant a tree. Sarapan, pan, pan, Armania's coming, better flee. To the left there's mountains, on the right there's Calderon. Come repair every tank, why does every war go wrong?
Armies in heavy fire, and the weather is going to be light cloud cover, good for mobility. Sarapan has 1 armoured car and 3 tanks, and has 5 movement points. So we are going to take our medium tank and just charge forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to shoot at the Armanians. There's no choice for the Kazaldis at a range of 1. We have a medium tank. They have a medium tank. It's medium versus medium. Let's see what we get. The Sarapanese moves forward, we aim, we fire, we hit each other. Not so good for us, that means we lose our tank because we can't get it repaired. But the Armanians lose their medium tank as well. Now we move on to the Kazaldi, who have no units. Then the Calderonians, who have 6 movement points. So we're going to try a run with our armoured car, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Walking on to the Armanians, who have 10 movement points. They're going to try the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. That's why it's powerful. And that is an attack on the Calderonians. They've done it. They've only gone and done it. Calderonian Command Headquarters, please confirm. And the tank moves forward. They thought it was all over. It is now. We have destroyed the Calderonian HQ. All depots captured. Please remove all Calderonian repairing vehicles from the board. Victory. Total victory for Armenia. Ceasefire on all fronts. The armed force of Calderon finally beaten in 15 days of armoured warfare. Triumphant Armenia and Kazaldis celebrate their joint victory. Will Calderon accept defeat or risk rearmament and another war?
Armenia, Armenia, lift up your hearts and sing. Armenia, Armenia, can do most anything.
So that was Tank Attack. And there's nothing like a nice refreshing beer after a hard campaign. Cheers. As it's a hybrid board/computer game, the makers made some suggestions for alternative rule sets. One of which I liked was that once you occupy a headquarters, you cannot attack it immediately, but must wait one turn completely to give the other a chance to fight back. I like this. They suggest maybe it needs to be 2 or 3 turns, even make it the game even longer. Once you occupy headquarters, you have to leave a piece there for the rest of the game. It doesn't need to be the same piece, but it must keep a piece there, which isn't too bad. It suggests things like differentiating the pieces more. For example, maybe light armoured cars can move 3 spaces instead of 2 in the open. That will make the game a lot wide open. Other suggestions are well-intentioned, but don't quite work. If you're in cover, you can only fire and be fired at a range of 1. This is cities, towns, or woods. Let's say, why not let it so a tank at the edge of cover, for example, at the edge of Calderonian city here, can fire outwards, but cannot be fired upon. That's a good idea. You can lay ambushes that way. Unfortunately, there is no way in the game of telling it, I'm in cover, I cannot be fired at. So you fire at the enemy at SA extreme range, and they can fire back and destroy you. Not so good. Here are some of my suggestions for improvements. In terms of movement, perhaps main battle tanks are very heavy. That because they're heavy, they cannot cross the wooden bridges. Maybe. Mix it up a bit. Maybe movement in tanks is double. So armour cars move 1 space, but tanks move 2, because moving in tanks is more difficult. That's an idea. One of the ideas you get in board games to cope with the I go, you go problem is that of the zone of control. So you cannot move past an enemy piece without engaging it. That would make it so you can't just rush past with a armoured car from across half the board. That's good. One thing they do suggest, which I also agree with, is although pieces can only fire once per turn, reasonable, you can target the same piece multiple times. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? But these are suggestions and things you can play with. So, is the game any good? As a kid, I liked the pieces on the board and then stopped playing the actual computer game part. I would make my own rules up by throwing a dice for attacking and defending, and then I would transfer the pieces over to an ordnance survey map of Herefordshire, where the 4 tanks for the city of Hereford and the towns of Leicester, Ledbury and Ross on Wye would all fight for supremacy. The game itself just gives you a movement factor and deals with the actual shooting. There may be a number of factors involved in the shooting, but the results are either you miss, you damage, or you destroy. And that's it. There might be really complicated stuff, but it's not really exposed. So the game really leaves me a little flat. But anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully see you again at the next war.
Armenia, Armenia, lift up your hearts and sing.